This is The Weekly Set, the official podcast of TVEnthusiast.com. With your host, Tyson Gifford and William Roerick. Episode 110. Recorded June 1st, 2017. Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Weekly Set, the official podcast of TVEnthusiast.com. I am your host and the editor-in-chief of TV Enthusiast. My name is Tyson, and joining me today, as always, is my co-host here at TVE, William Roerick.
Hello!
So today, as Will just alluded to with his hello, we're going to be talking about Twin Peaks. We're also going to be talking about American Gods. So we're talking about episodes 3 and 4 of Twin Peaks, and episode, I believe it's 5 of American Gods, titled Lemon Scented You.
Yes.
And so we're going to start things off with Twin Peaks. I have to say, when we were talking about it last week, I love all the weirdness of Twin Peaks. I love the kind of like the weird stiffness and how it can be kind of funny and creepy, but it did feel a little off. And I don't know if you could hear it in my voice when we were talking about it, but I wasn't liking it as much as I'd hoped I would. Episode 3 and 4, this is the Twin Peaks I remember. This is exactly the Twin Peaks I remember. It's hilarious.
Episode 3 was like the probably the most bizarre hour of television I've ever seen. Like I didn't know how to feel after episode 3 because I was just like, that was an hour of TV. It had humor. It was like, it was again random stuff that didn't seem to be connected, and we're suddenly introduced to a third version of Cooper out of nowhere. Dougie, yeah. And I'm just like, what? And then probably the most prescient thing ever is when Dougie goes to the Black Lodge and his hand is like melting, and he just says, well, that's weird. And I'm like, yeah, you can sum up the whole show with that line.
So this was apparently Bob's plan. The one-armed man in the red room said that later on said to Cooper that he'd been tricked, and he had said when the guy was melting that he had been manufactured for a purpose, and that purpose is like already passed. So it seems like Dougie's existence is somehow like something that Bob made.
Basically, I guess Bob created him somehow. I don't know. That's probably never going to be explained. Don't expect an explanation for that. But but the gist seems to be Bob created him because Bob knows that he was going to have to switch places with Cooper in the Black Lodge, and so he created another clone to switch places with Cooper for him, which seems to be what happens because all of a sudden Bob's driving along and he has the uncontrollable urge to puke, and then so does Dougie, and they both puke up some multicolored cream corn. Like, I don't
it must come from the cream corn kit from the original.
like I don't freaking know. It doesn't look like normal puke. It looks like whatever. And
apparently coming into contact with it was enough to put a police officer in the hospital though.
Here's the thing though, because Dougie is with a prostitute in his scene and he pukes that stuff up. He goes to the Black Lodge and Cooper comes out of the electrical socket. Don't ask. And then she's looking for Dougie. She goes in there with Cooper. He's laying right next to the puke, and there's no reaction about a smell or anything from either of them.
It's because Bob Cooper is evil, and so his inner stench is worse.
His inner stench. That's a good explanation. Yeah, yeah, but apparently Bob's puke is toxic, and not the other guys, but Bob's. So
that was just kind of some of the weirdness early on. I did like Dale going through the electric socket. I liked the little bit before we'd wondered where Dale Cooper went.
He went to the purple place, which is what I think that's what people have decided to call it, a purple place. Because everything's purple tinted. It's just like this weird room, and then you go upstairs and you go into outer space, and apparently there's like some evil entity coming, trying to get in. There's a lady with no eyes, and
that lady, by the way, is from the original series. She is the woman that walked across the bridge like half naked early in the first season, who was all messed up, and who was there when Laura was killed, and who was all messed up herself.
Oh, okay.
That's that actress. So it's not listed as that character. The character listed is American Girl, but that's the same actress from Twin Peaks that played the girl that was with Laura when Laura died.
Oh, okay. That's that actress. I thought the other lady was the girl who was with Laura when Laura died. Like after the lady with no eyes falls into space, there's another lady downstairs.
That's the same lady, I think.
Is it? God, they look completely different, but then again, one had no eyes and the other has eyes, and they were dressed completely different, so hard to say. Could be.
Yeah. Twin Peaks, why are we trying to make sense of this?
Yeah. I mean, this is a scene where Cooper gets sucked into a wall socket, like a giant wall socket on the wall.
Something else I noticed is that thing with the wall socket on it in the purple space, in the purple place, it said 15 on it, and then when he came back from outer space, it said 3 instead of 15. And when it showed Bob in the car, like starting to throw up, he looked at his watch and it said it was 3 o'clock.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So that has...
So I have no idea if that means anything. It'll probably never be explained beyond that.
Right.
But just something I noticed. I was like, oh, okay. It's like, that was like my Lost brain, my brain from watching Lost, like trying to find clues and put them together. Before like my Twin Peaks brain reminded me that this is Twin Peaks.
Yeah, this isn't Lost. This is Twin Peaks, and it's going to be weird for weird's sake, and there's going to be weird stuff. Like I think if you approach this trying to find clues and hidden meanings, they're probably there, but I'd just go mad because a lot of the stuff is most likely meaningless and just exists for its weirdness.
Exactly. It's there more for the atmosphere than for any kind of story context.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about Cooper though. We got Cooper back, but he's not fully
Stupid Cooper?
He's not fully himself. In fact, he's not fully there at all.
He doesn't have full mental faculties.
He's
just kind of stumbling around like Frankenstein and repeating things that people say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. He's like severely brain damaged or something.
Everybody thinks he's Dougie in town, including the prostitute that finds him. They're curious about his new suit and haircut and weight loss, but they still think it's him. And then he goes to the casino, which is probably the highlight of both of these episodes. Is Dougie Cooper in the casino?
Oh, yep. Yeah, Cooper in the casino is the highlight of the episode. Basically, the gist is he sees an image of the Black Lodge above various slot machines, and so he goes, he puts a quarter in, and he gets a jackpot on every slot machine he plays.
And then he gets scared by the sound of the coins and walks away and wanders to another one.
Yeah. The coins frighten him, and he walks away, and he just does it again. And again, it's like he says that he's like, "Hello." That's where that comes from, because the first thing he sees is a guy playing the slot, and he gets the jackpot, and that's what he said when he got the jackpot, which said hello. And so Cooper, since he's just repeating things he's heard from other people, he just repeats that every time he plays a slot machine.
He's just hello.
Yeah.
And keeps winning the jackpots. Soon there's like a crazy old looking lady that, is like having, going where he's pointing that there's going to be other jackpots and she's winning jackpots.
Yeah.
The casino's freaking out because they've had like 30 jackpot wins.
Yeah, 30 jackpot wins. They're like losing money left and right.
So this is going to be a thing. You're gonna like, if you go to a casino now, you're gonna see somebody yelling hello when they pull the arm.
Probably depends on like how many Twin Peaks fans there are, but yeah.
I think there's enough that it'll spread, and then there will be people doing it that don't even know where it comes from.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just become a meme. People say I do it for good luck. Okay, sure.
So the casino is really funny. Probably the highlight of both of these episodes. We also see Stupid Cooper continues on for a while through like being interrogated by the manager at the casino, and then by talking to the limousine driver, and then Dougie's wife, and having breakfast at the table with his tie around his head.
Naomi Watts playing Dougie's wife, by the way. She is a veteran of Lynch's film. She was in Mulholland Drive. So Lynch is definitely reusing actors that he's worked with throughout his career in this. And so it's not just like Twin Peaks. People who have been from Twin. He's using actors from all of his works, it seems.
Yeah, and a lot of actors that are probably just fans of his that really wanted to be in it.
They really want to be in it, yeah. Like Michael Cera. I don't think he's ever worked with Michael Cera before in a professional capacity. Not that I'm aware of.
That was another highlight for me. That was just weird with Michael Cera and another newcomer, Robert Forster, who is playing Sheriff Harry Truman's brother.
Yes.
Frank Truman.
Because apparently Harry Truman is sick, as we learn in this scene with Wally
That's
Brando.
Code for the actor didn't want to act in this show.
yeah, it's code. Yeah, for the actor to with this scene with Wally Brando, which is so weird. Like, first,
by the way, he's the son of who I call Deputy Dipshit, Deputy Andy, and what's her name? Lucy, who's like who operates the desk at the sheriff's office. The two of them, they had a kid. This is Wally Brando, played by Michael Cera. He's like a weird like beat poet like biker. like he's somebody who read the Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance like a little too thoroughly.
Yeah. He comes to the Twin Peaks police station to pay his respects to Sheriff Truman, who is sick apparently. And then he gives this huge speech about how like he's been all over the country and like the road is like the road is like a part of him, or like he just goes on and on about this. It's like it becomes like the scene probably
with
takes
no
like,
hint of irony or anything.
with no hint of irony or anything. He's got this like stupid kind of accent going, and yeah, there's no irony or anything to it. He's just going. I think the scene lasts for like 5 minutes. It's just him giving a speech about like that has nothing to do with anything about him and like just him and being on his motorcycle and going all over the country, and that's all.
His parents are like fawning over him like he's a newborn baby or something.
Yeah, like he's the greatest, Wally Brando. This is our son, Wally Brando. Look how proud we are. That's basically just that. And I'm like, okay.
So we talked about Deputy Dipshit and Lucy. One of my favorite scenes in these episodes also was Lucy on the phone talking to Sheriff Frank Truman and saying, "Oh, what are you? You're in the mountains? So you're by a stream? I can't hear you that well." And she just keeps going on about how she can't hear him. And then he like walks in through the front door holding up his cell phone, and she looks up at him and just screams and falls over. And apparently we learn that this is something that's been happening like frequently. She doesn't understand cell phones, and she freaks out whenever somebody's on a cell phone with her and then like walks in the door or something. She like flips out.
Yeah.
And Andy's trying to comfort her and saying, you're good with everything else. I don't understand why this keeps happening. And she's like, I don't don't either. We had lots of great stuff with those two, and with Robert Forster's character, who, by the way, Robert Forster does a great job of playing a character very similar to the original Harry Truman.
Yeah.
He's kind of like the straight man of Twin Peaks, in a sense.
He is kind of the straight man. Another thing, we find out Bobby has joined the Twin Peaks police force, which was really interesting.
So crying when he sees Laura's picture.
Yeah, I know. He's like, Laura's picture brings back memories. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So many great moments. So many of these like weird soapy just moments like this that are like, okay, yeah, this is what I remember loving about Twin Peaks. I'm so glad to see that it's back now, you know? I also loved Lucy and Andy and Hawk talking about they're going over all the evidence, trying to find whatever's missing based on Log Lady's premonition. Mm-hmm. And they get hung up on the whole like chocolate bunny being missing.
Oh yeah.
This isn't about the chocolate bunny. Is this about the chocolate bunny?
And Lucy's like talking about like how she ate it because she can't resist chocolate and everything, and I'm like, they really made like Lucy's like more of an idiot in this than she than she was in the previous series, at least as far as I can remember.
She's now an equal match for Deputy Dipshit.
Yeah, she is. She doesn't even understand how cell phones work. So
But yeah, that's hilarious. I'm everything that's happening in Twin Peaks is looking right as it should. I'm surprised at how much has been going on that doesn't even take place in Twin Peaks with this series so far. Like it's in South Dakota and it's in like Washington and New York, and it's just all over the place, but it's like very little of it's been in Twin Peaks. But when it goes back to Twin Peaks, it feels like Twin Peaks, like full on. So that's been really cool. We got to see Gordon Cole and Albert again. David Lynch is Gordon Cole.
Oh, and, yep.
Albert. Yep. Albert by Miguel Ferrer.
We get to see all the heart. We get to see all the people from the FBI. We get Albert. We even get David Duchovny. David
Denise Bryson.
Denise, yep. comes back for a scene. She's doing very well for herself.
She's the head of the entire FBI now, which the way they said that was just really kind of funny and weird.
Yeah, it was really kind of funny and weird. Yeah.
They also mentioned, Albert and Bob both mentioned another FBI agent. If that didn't stick with you, that was the character that David Bowie played in Fire Walks with Me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and David Bowie was supposed to be in this remake series, but he passed away.
Oh, yeah, he passed away.
Before they started filming, so.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but they mentioned his character. That's who they were. That's the person that Bob was saying he was in contact with.
I barely remember David Bowie's character in Fire Walk with Me because it seemed like he was there for like 5 seconds. So
he was like this trans-dimensional FBI agent.
Yeah.
It was like weird.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like, what the hell? And then I don't know why watching that I expect them to explain it, but they never did.
Yeah. They explained that his character was working with Bob, I guess, or something, or Bob like had contacted him and said that he was like working undercover with him, and apparently Albert gave him information that led to like the death of one of their like sources or something. So that puts Albert and Gordon kind of on the case of thinking that there's something wrong with this Dale Cooper, that it's not the Dale Cooper they know.
Yeah, they get the sense that the Dale Cooper they're talking to is not the Dale Cooper, and they're right. They are correct. It's not the Dale Cooper.
It's Bob.
It's Bob, and the real Dale Cooper. He's kind of a mess right now.
Yeah, he's just kind of like he's parroting what people says and walking around like Frankenstein.
Yeah, he doesn't have a mind. All his faculties aren't there, which is interesting because the guy in the Black Lodge Marge tells Cooper that because of the whole thing with Dougie and Bob trying to cheat the system, that now the only way to resolve the issue is one of the Coopers has to die.
And we saw that with a scene earlier in episode 3 when Cooper was leaving with the prostitute. Bob had some men stationed to like kill him, but he just happened to like drop something and lean over in the car like right as he passed the person that was like looking for him. And it's like, oh, he's not there. It was just a very convenient miss that saved Cooper's life.
Yeah, very convenient miss. Yeah, because apparently Dougie was involved in some shit, and that links back to Vegas and the casino, where I guess we saw the two guys in Vegas earlier, and apparently Dougie's story links in with that. I'm assuming, even though we never see those two guys from the first 2 episodes in these episodes.
Yeah, I don't think they're in Vegas. They're in like
it looked like
an Indian casino.
Oh, okay, it was an Indian casino. Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, that's right. I don't know why I thought they were like in Nevada or something.
No, they're it's all happening relatively close around like the South Dakota area, I think.
What the hell is with the 2 guys in Vegas from the first 2 episodes? Fuck.
Maybe they weren't in Vegas. I don't know.
I don't know, but we don't see them again.
Yeah. We don't know where they are or what's going on with them.
Even though like they showed these 2 characters and they had this conversation, that's got to mean something. I don't know. Like we literally jump all the way somewhere else just to meet these characters and have them have this conversation. And
it's just an actor who really likes David Lynch and Twin Peaks and wanted to be in it, so they just made a scene. It's kind of like in the first episode, I think, when they had Laura Palmer's mom, and the whole scene was just her watching TV with like no context of anything, just her watching TV.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. We got that too. Just to have her be in the show, I guess. You know, we didn't have a scene for her, but you know, we have to bring back everybody we can who was part of the original. So here she is watching TV.
So another returning character we got who has passed away before they filmed it, so they had to use archival footage, is we got to see Major Garland Briggs, who is Bobby's father.
Yeah, he was the floating head.
We saw him in Purple Place, the floating head, yeah, saying Blue Rose. Which they talked about also in the episode as something that they're going to explore now, I guess. The whole kind of alien conspiracy angle that we never found out anything about. But yeah, so that's, do we have anything else to say about Twin Peaks?
That covers unless you can think of something else, because I think we touched all the bases. I can't think of anything else that happened in the last 2 episodes.
No, not really. I mean, it's kind of funny how very little from the first 2 episodes is even referenced in these next 2 episodes.
I think at the FBI they did, they did show a picture of the aftermath of what happened to those 2 kids in the the room with the box. Yeah, so you know, because we need to see the gory aftermath of that attack.
Their faces just chipped into.
Yeah,
but we didn't really get anything else beyond that. That was I mean, it's just like I said, it's so weird that like so much of the stuff that happened in the first 2 episodes that we didn't know about yet. It's like there's a lot of scenes that kind of were depicted that we didn't really see anything with, and then there was like no follow-up to them at all in these episodes. Like the whole murder case that happened that was happening in the first 2 episodes, just no reference to it at all here. One thing we did get though is we saw that the one psychiatrist guy in the first episode, the guy that wears the 2 pairs of sunglasses, we saw him again in this episode spray painting shovels gold for no apparent reason.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I have no idea. And
he's making the golden shovels from Animal Crossing.
Yeah. There you go. So that happened. Yep, that's it.
So let's talk about American Gods. So in this episode, I believe it's the 5th episode. It's called Lemon Scented You. And what you've been asking for, Will, we finally got.
Yes, Mr. World does appear in this episode. So hooray. There's a couple cool scenes in this episode. Obviously, we get the big reunion between Shadow Moon and his wife, or his ex-wife, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Now, or is she still his ex-wife? Now she's alive again. Who the hell knows? But
well, they never got divorced, so
they never got divorced. So
Shadow was technically a widow.
Not widow anymore. That just raises all kinds of legal questions. So sudden resurrection.
Man, they really found ways to make it like even creepier than it was, with her like bathing in hot water to keep her body warm so that her flesh would be warm for his touch.
Yep, warm for his touch. So Laura Moon really wants to get back together with Shadow. I mean, and Shadow Moon really doesn't want to get back together with her.
He's kind of terrified.
Well, he's not terrified of her. He's not terrified. He's disgusted with her and with what she did when he was alive. And the way
he's also a little terrified.
The
like
way
when
that
he first walks in the room, he's kind of like,
there's a line he says, and the reason I think I don't peg him as being terrified or even a little terrified is there's a line he says where he's like, after the shit I've seen, that this is just par for the course.
Yeah.
Or so he said, after the shit I've already seen, you being alive is just par for the course. So like he's basically
he's terrified not so much just because she's back alive, but because of like what that represents in his life.
Oh right.
That, like
right.
he's agreed to work for Wednesday now. He's gotten in all this stuff, and now the whole reason he left and this feeling out of betrayal. It's like he's going through a lot of emotions with that.
He's going through a lot of emotion, but the one thing is he doesn't want to get back with Laura, and she's trying to she's trying to get back with him. She's trying to prepare herself to have sex with him and all this stuff. And
he seems to have some kind of an effect on her, like they kissed and her heart beat.
Oh yeah, she has a supernatural connection to him now, it seems, and that seemed to be evident as he appears as a glowing ray of light to her. And now we find out when she kissed him, her heartbeat, her chest swelled up with the same glow, and then her heartbeat.
Yeah.
So there seems to be some connection, but unfortunately, Shadow Moon, she cheated on him. She treated him. She did him wrong. She treated him dirty, and so he doesn't.
Kicked him like a puppy.
She kicked him like a puppy. So he doesn't want to have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
So he basically just tells her, we're done, and then he's pulled away by Wednesday. And so he goes. He doesn't like leave. He goes out to talk to Wednesday, and then that's when the cops show up and they arrest him and Wednesday because the cops got tip off of the bank heist they did back in episode 3,
along with like satellite images of the car, exactly where it's parked, and
exactly where it's parked and everything, like a big tip off. and so they get arrested and they leave, and Laura doesn't know what's going on. She thinks Shadow just took off, and he was upset. So
well, they're the police office. Laura gets another visitor, Mad Sweeney.
Yeah, Mad Sweeney
comes barging in, asking for his coin back.
This was a great scene because he wants his coin back, and she has it. Unfortunately, as a member of the undead, she is really strong.
Yeah,
she is really.
She just flicks him, and he goes flying across the room.
Yeah. So he can't quite get the coin back. Plus, it's revealed that he can't forcefully take it himself anyway, even if he was able to overpower her. She has to give it up.
He can take it if she's dead, or he can take it if she gives it to him.
Right.
But she's like in possession of it. It's keeping her alive, and she's not going to be willing to give it up. We got to see like where the coin is. It's like down her like throat or something, because he holds her mouth open, and you see like light coming out of it.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's that's the thing that's powering her, that's making her be alive. So I think removing it would just return her to the state of being dead.
So they're arguing about that, she's kicking his ass all over the place.
Yeah, she's
It's
kicking
really
his
funny.
ass. It's a really funny scene. He tells her that, eventually her flesh is just gonna melt right off of her because, once it gets too hot out or something. And he says when that happens, he'll be right there to snatch his coin. They fight
right out between a rib cage. Yeah.
He gets to the point where he's holding her in the bathtub. I'm guessing he's trying to get that flesh to melt off of her or something. He's holding her underwater, and then the police come in. The police
he's
come
like,
in
"No, she's alive, and then she plays dead.
Yeah, she plays dead. And they find her basically holding her head under the water. It's more of that bad luck that he's been having since he lost his coin. It's
she
really
plays
great
dead
scene.
and just lets him get taken.
Yeah,
he's like, "You bitch."
But she lets him get taken away for murder, basically. Yeah. That's great.
So he gets taken away in a police car. She's kind of now up and about staying in the hotel room. But she gets taken as well as like evidence. In the police station, they're interrogating Shadow Moon and Wednesday, but it's kind of uninteresting, the interrogation aspect. What's really interesting is what happens after the interrogation, which is that the power kind of goes out. Well, first off, Mr. Wednesday uses Mr. Anansi. Anansi is the god's name. What do they call him?
Anansi.
Mr. Ansi, yeah. The guy we see in the beginning of the second episode, basically, in his spider form to like pick his lock.
Yeah, he got in his spider form to pick his lock. Yeah, which is cool. They're interrogating Shadow and Wednesday separately, of course, trying to using that tactic, try to get one turn on the other.
They bring them together in the same room, and then they leave. They leave them together for a little bit, and then you just hear shit going down in the police station.
Yeah, mass. Well, before that, we do get a scene. We get a scene with between Technical Boy and Media. Media kind of uses Technical Boy's little gadget on him, the same thing Technical Boy used on Shadow Moon, and then
Media in the guise of David Bowie.
Yeah, Media in the guise of David Bowie. Which is great. Gillian Anderson, of course. Basically dressing down Technical Boy for what he did to Shadow in episode 1. Basically saying, he owes Shadow an apology, a genuine apology, and he owes that to Shadow on behalf of Mr. World. Basically driving home, Mr. World wasn't happy with his antics and that he needed to.
So we hear the shit going down in the police station. The door opens up and we see coming down the dark hallway Marilyn Monroe floating off the ground.
Yeah. It's of course Media once again in another guise.
Yeah. And she talks to him for a little bit, and then she welcomes in somebody else, and you see him walking, and as he's stepping on the tiles are like lighting up. Like
the Michael Jackson music video, of course.
Yeah.
Billie Jean,
he comes in and he takes his hat off.
Yep, he comes in and takes it off. It's not Michael Jackson, it is Mr. World. It is Crispin Glover, the man.
From Back to the Future, yeah.
From Back to the Future, yes.
And he's playing Mr. World, and he's a little kooky, a little crazy, but apparently extremely powerful.
Yeah.
Much more so than any of the newer gods.
Yeah.
And he's originally we thought, he's at war with Mr. Wednesday, he's going to come in kind of hostile. Then we saw the thing between Media and Technical Boy, and we're like, oh, he wants Technical Boy to apologize to them. He comes in and he's like very respectful about Mr. Wednesday.
He is.
And
he kind of stresses that there's no animosity on his end, and kind of puts it all on Wednesday, trying to say any animosity is that's coming from you, and he
offers Mr. Wednesday North Korea.
Yeah, he offers Mr. Wednesday in the form of an Odin rocket that would just bomb the shit out of North Korea, and make his name famous once again. They kind of package this it's like it's PR. Like he comes out Wednesday and he says, well, the reason that you don't have many followers and that you're fading into obscurity and dying is just a lack of good PR. We can give you the best. We can give you the best PR. We can put your name on a rocket and bomb North Korea with it, and nobody will ever forget your name. Everybody will know your name, and nobody would forget it. That's the sell. It's like,
and that was the whole. That's where the title of the episode comes from. Is the idea of the lemon scented you, which is the new fresh version of Odin, of Mr. Wednesday.
Yeah, new fresh version of Mr. Wednesday. So basically, they come in and they say that his offer is that they can give him an image adjustment and make him famous again. Get him followers, get him everything he needs to be successful. Wednesday is not buying this at all. He's not interested.
It's funny when they're flattering him though, and he's just kind of like, as they're flattering him, and he's got his back to them, and he's making like faces, like yes.
He's making faces. Like Wednesday is just not having any of this at all.
Yeah, and then they bring in Technical Boy to make his apology.
Yes, and it's not a very sincere apology. His next breath is he's advocating to Mr. World that he should just up and kill Wednesday right there. For which Mr. World, he makes this impassioned plea that
knocking out his teeth with knocking out his teeth.
Oh yeah, because he's being disrespectful and a punk. Because he's making this impassioned plea to Mr. World that Mr. World should just kill Wednesday and be done with it, and Mr. World scolds him, and he says,
he's saying that Wednesday deserves respect, and
Wednesday's been around for a long time. He's one of the oldest gods, and he deserves respect for that.
Yeah, so it's we get all that scene between them. They take off after they knock out Technical Boy's teeth and leave them as like a gift for Shadow and Wednesday. Shadow and Wednesday are leaving, and as they're leaving from the police station, like the world tree starts growing out of one of the dead police officers that's there, and you just start seeing the tree branches like in the shadows coming out of his mouth and stuff. It's like kind of coming after them.
Yeah, it's kind of coming
after them.
Everybody in the police department at this point is dead. This thing is killing whoever's left over. It's definitely trying to kill Wednesday and Shadow. They escape. The two officers who arrested Mad Sweeney pull up to the station to find that everybody's dead and there's this creature in there, and they go in there. They end up getting killed. Sweeney busts himself out of the police car and runs the hell away.
But not before crushing his own testicles on the windowsill.
Not the windowsill, of course, because his luck is so bad that of course that happened.
But he runs away. Wednesday and Shadow run away, and then that leaves Laura, who was taken as like a dead body by the police.
Oh yeah, she's
and is
a murder victim.
Evidence,
and she's in a morgue or some sort. The medical examiner is in there. She kicks herself.
Looking at horses.
Yeah, look at horses on the internet. Yeah, that's so weird. It's just horses, I'm like, okay.
Just a Google image search of horses. Laura Moon starts like kicking the door to open it to the drawer she's in the examiner's room. And so the medical examiner comes out to check it, ends up just basically getting thrown across the room by the door when it breaks off. And Laura up and walks out.
Yep.
That's pretty much it. We didn't talk about the beginning, though. So this episode had another Coming to America sequence. It didn't have the label Coming to America. It just kind of started. But this one was actually animated. It was
that's right.
CG animated.
CG animated sequence about early man, and basically
it was like a prehistoric,
and the point behind it was that gods can die, and it basically just showed an example of how a god can die.
But if they're forgotten, they can die. Yeah.
Yeah, if they're forgotten, they can die. I mean, it's about this tribe of early man. They're going from where they were to a new place in the hopes of finding food and to be able to survive.
Well, they go to America over the ice bridge. They go from the frozen ocean.
Yep. They get there, but unfortunately, there's no food. There's nothing for them there. And they end up getting slaughtered by the natives. And then once they're slaughtered, their god is forgotten and their god dies.
Yeah.
Which is the gist of it.
So that's how the episode starts. It was a 3D animation. Later on in the episode, when Wednesday and Shadow are being briefed by media and Mr. World's plan, we see more animation.
Yes, so
the director of this episode, Vincenzo Natali, is an animator. He used to do animation. He directed a bunch of episodes of Hannibal and a bunch of other stuff. But he got his start in animation, so there's a lot of animation in this episode between the opening sequence with the CG animated part, but then we also see, as they're explaining this whole thing with North Korea, you see like missiles flying with rainbows behind them and a unicorn and
unicorn and everything. Oh yeah.
Showing off this sequence. So yeah, there's a lot of anime. I just wanted to bring that up because the director of the episode had a background in animation, so they used a lot of animation. So
nice.
Good episode again. American Gods continues to be good. Looking forward to next week. And that's episode 5, so we only got 3 left.
Nice. Cool. Yep, 8 episodes, so 3 more episodes of that. Still plenty of Twin Peaks left. That's 18 episodes. Yeah. So we got Twin Peaks to last us all summer. But yeah, I can't believe only 3 more episodes of American Gods. Definitely looking forward to next week's.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice to have another episode to watch. And then once that's over, though, we're still gonna have Twin Peaks, but it's gonna be sad to have it gone.
Sad to have it gone. It really is. It'll be sad to have it gone, but life moves on.
That's it. That's it for American Gods. So the last thing we have to do is talk about what's coming up in the next week. So by the time this podcast is available, Friday, June 2nd, 2017, Flaked will be back for its 2nd season on Netflix. That's a series starring Will Arnett, and he's a recovering alcoholic that accidentally killed a man when he was drunk driving, and has kind of tried to change his life around that, but ends up coming into contact with people related to his dark past that brings some stuff forward. So that's the 2nd season for that. Then on Sunday, June 4th, I'm Dying Up Here comes to Showtime. It's kind of about the golden age of stand-up comedy. It's a series produced by Jim Carrey, and it's on Showtime. Also on that day on AMC, Fear the Walking Dead is back. And then next Friday, June 9th, we have the returns of Orange is the New Black on Netflix and Dark Matter on Sci-Fi. And that's it for the next week. Not a lot.
Yeah, that's not terribly a lot, but it's some things. So there you go.
Yeah, few things I'm looking forward to there. So, but until then, you can reach me on Twitter. I'm at Tyson Gifford. You can reach Will on Twitter. He is at Voxel Hero. You can check out our Facebook page and our YouTube channel, as well as our site, TVEnthusiast.com. And you can subscribe to the podcast through any major podcast client like iTunes or Pocket Cast. The entire backlog of our podcast is available on our YouTube channel. Last thing I wanted to say is that we normally, right as June's approaching, which is June 1st, we would be doing our summer preview, but we had a lot to talk about with Twin Peaks and American Gods, so I just kind of said, we just won't bother with that. But you can check out the summer preview on our website, as well as a top 10 list that goes over our top picks for the summer preview, or at least my top picks, because I wrote the article. The royal we. But yeah, you can see that my top 10 picks for the shows that we're looking forward to coming in summer. That includes Game of Thrones.
Yes,
by
July.
The way.
Next month. Oh.
Yeah, so it covers shows coming between June, July, and August.
We're getting ever closer to more Game of Thrones, which is always a good thing.
But yeah, that's it though. So thank you everybody for listening. Bye.
Bye.
And hello.
Hello.
If you would like to voice your opinion, send an email to theweeklyset@TVEnthusiast.com. TV Enthusiast is a part of the Enthusiast Media Network. Stay tuned to TV Enthusiast and the Weekly Set podcast for more coverage of all of your favorite shows.